The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello everyone, I'm LJ.
I'm Venom.
I'm Viper.
And this is TTV Talks. Why is it that you both, in synchronization, started humming the John Cena theme?
Because it's John Cena.
Because it's awesome.
John Cena told me to.
He told you to, really. He listens to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because my time is now.
You can't see me because my time is now.
Wow. So, good evening, everyone. We've obviously got a TTV Talks here today. How are you two doing this week?
Oh, no. Obviously, we have a TTV Yells!
TTV Whispers.
Hey, guys, how you doing
Hey, this is ASMR TTV.
So, yeah. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
I'm
Pretty
worn
good.
out
Why are you tired, Viper?
because coursework.
Coursework.
And, yeah, it's just stressful.
No, I can understand. I got a test coming up, too.
Really? What's that
A
about?
test.
It's a ham radio test, actually.
Oh.
It's not very well known. I'm an amateur ham radio operator. I'm licensed.
Nice.
Yep, it's pretty cool. It's one of my various different things on my resume.
Ham radio. How did you even get started on that?
My family is really into ham radio. Like my parents.
Why?
For various
Sounds
different
like
reasons.
a waste of time.
Then what happens if the cell phones go down? What if you can't
The
like
cell
talk on your
phones
little-
will never go down.
That is the
Imagine-
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Just imagine, like,
Verizon
LJ
Wireless
radio.
is so reliable. No, I don't even have Verizon.
What if you're like out in the middle of the woods and there's like
You're
no
covered
way you
by
can get any
Verizon.
cell service? No.
You see, if you're in the middle of the woods or in any extreme climate, you should just listen to what Bear Grylls has to say.
Bear Grylls.
All right, everyone.
Hide in
on.
a camel skin somewhere.
What? You're in the middle of the woods and you need to hide in a camel skin.
Well, if you're in a desert, you're supposed to hide in a camel skin.
Okay.
Oh, God. I can't imagine
Yeah.
living in the wilderness. I've lived in too many different places already, as is. No.
Hey, you and me both, man. You and me both.
No, shut up.
Yeah, how many times have you moved, Vin?
11.
Huh? 11?
11 times. Throughout my entire
Okay,
life,
yeah,
I've moved
that-
around 11 times.
That
I've
beats
been
Told you
my,
this.
around.
That beats
In-
my like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah, same. You both beat me
Yeah, how many times have you moved, Viper?
like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, yeah.
But I've moved around in like the same area.
The same
Oh,
area,
okay.
really? Oh, well, I guess I can
Yeah.
relate.
Yeah,
From urban
just-
to rural to urban again to rural to urban. Like that.
Oh, I've always been urban. Well, suburban.
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 Suburban. Yeah.
I've been suburban, urban, and then very rural. I've kind of gradually gone
Very
that way.
rural.
It's like
Rural.
it's like urban to rural to desolate.
To desolate. Till underground. To the bottom
To the
of
point
the sea.
where there's like
Under the sea.
tumbleweeds. The tumbleweeds become your friend.
Oh,
That's
dear.
implying they aren't already. Yeah, no, I go from Metropolis to Fallout, like 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow. You're
No,
hardcore, dude.
I just recently moved, actually.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just recently moved
Where'd you move to?
somewhere else in the void. It's not important. But I moved to a better place.
He moved to
And-
desolate area point.
Yes,
2.0.
it is. It is more rural. It is much more out in the middle of nowhere. But the internet's faster, and it's so much quieter. I love it.
Sounds so boring.
It's
Sounds
fine.
nice.
Yes, it's really nice. Ben, have you ever been out in the rural areas?
Nope. Like I said, just always been suburban in the same area. Just moving from different place to place because prices keep going up and
And down.
wages keep going down.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a rural area? Do you like rural?
Do I like rural? No,
Rural.
I don't. Now that I think about it, I'm not exactly sure if I've ever been around a rural. That's such a weird freaking word. I hate that word.
Rural.
No,
Rural.
I can't.
It keeps on saying like we're on the verge of saying Carl.
Coral.
See? Rural Carl.
Coral.
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 Coral. Yeah, no. Can't say I've ever been in a rural area.
Dang. You ought to come visit.
Wow.
I mean, I've been camping. That's close enough,
Oh,
right?
Okay. I guess that works.
Closest you've been to nature.
I've never gone camping.
What?
Nope.
I love
Not once.
camping.
Of everybody in the group, I would have expected you to be like the most experienced in camping.
See, that's the thing.
Then again, you're a boring person, so I guess I shouldn't be so surprised.
But I mean, I've almost been camping several different times. I've never been in a tent.
Nah.
What?
Yeah, no.
What are you?
Wow, it's not. Who are you? It's what are you?
What are you? I'm
But no,
Goblin's
I've never been
reckoning.
camping not once. But I'd like to. My younger brother's
You
been
really
camping
should.
several
You'd like
times.
it.
We should totally go camping if we all meet up at some point. Go camping in a rural area.
Rural.
Rural area.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah,
I'm not really
I mean,
like a fan of camping out in the middle of nowhere, though. I
Really?
like going to a campsite.
I don't know the difference, so.
Well, campsites with a group of people, like that. It's basically like a bunch of people go camping in the same area, whereas in the middle of nowhere, you literally pick a spot in the middle of nowhere and set your tent down.
Wait, in these campsites, do they all know each other, or is it just like a bunch of random groups of people?
It's just
It's random groups of people.
That, I would hate that. That would be so weird.
I mean,
Well,
it's not so bad because at
It's
least
not that bad, yeah.
when I've gone camping, the groups of people are all like really far from each other.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
I guess that's good. Because like I've lived in a house before. The first house I recall living in, where the houses were so close, you could hear the neighbor's bathroom, like when they were using the bathroom. Like you can hear them singing in the shower, or flushing the toilet, or brushing their teeth.
Or having monkey business.
Yeah.
Sure, Venom.
Yeah,
But-
I lived in a house like that and just sat watching TV and I could hear everything going on upstairs and it was awkward at sometimes.
Upstairs. Doesn't sound like you were in a house. Sounds like you were in an apartment
We're
complex.
in like a... No, actually, I was in like a... It was like an extension that had been transformed into a house, but it only had one floor. It didn't even have like a separate kitchen. It had like a kitchen, like a couple counters in the living room as a kitchen. And I just sat playing on like the Xbox, and then I like heard these like sounds. I was just like, "What is that sound?" And it was next door, and I was like, "Oh great, well,
I'll tell you one
don't know
thing.
how to respond to that."
There were some interesting occasions I had over at the farthest place that I've lived from my hometown. It's like a 45-hour drive from here, and it's kind of a different area. Well, I guess it's because it's a different city, but just the way it is, I'll give you a little bit of insight as to what I'm rambling on about. So, for example, it was a little, as my mother would put it, ghetto. Meaning there are interesting
boy.
kinds of people around there, very rowdy. There was also this weird thing, two weird things, but I'll get to the second one a little later. One weird thing
boy.
about this neighborhood, man. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I was a lot younger, so this especially kind of freaked me out. I would hear freaking cats, not meowing or purring, freaking screaming from like the
Fighting.
behind my house.
Or mating.
They're mating.
Yeah, they make really loud sounds when they mate as well.
Dang,
Yeah.
they're freaking mating like every night, because almost every other night I heard. And this freaked me out. I went to my parents' room because I was so scared. And again, I was a lot younger, so I was a scaredy cat. One of my parents' rooms was like, oh god, those possessed cats are gonna come in my window and freaking kill me.
The cats are gonna kill you.
No, the cats would just keep screaming, and it would go on like almost every other night for like a good while. Maybe they were mating. Maybe it was just mating season.
It might have been both
because
it's like they fight over territorial.
Territory
females.
maybe they were fighting. My parents like to joke that we had some strange neighbors that like to have their way with the cats. But
I'm sure you mean like they like stuff the cats with like fluff, so they make
Or
like
eat
cat
them.
statues.
Oh, yeah.
or-
Maybe you lived near Kahi.
probably stuffing the cats all right. But anyway, another interesting part about my neighborhood was I used to hang around this kid that I met in that neighborhood, and he came over to my house one time. We were hanging out, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard that there's this guy that lives like right next to us that he's registered."
Oh no!
So I was like,
no.
oh dear,
no.
oh dear. So I looked it up. Right, I got
Oh,
this.
dearie, dearie, dear.
I found an app on my phone that locates people who are registered,
Really?
and yeah, it was actually
You're not supposed to do that over here. It's illegal over here.
really.
It's public record over here.
Yeah, it is
You-
public
you-
record.
I think like when you apply for a job, you are required to say that and bring that up.
So
Oh yeah, you're
you're
supposed to bring it
registered.
up, but people outside of like you and the government aren't allowed to know.
No, it's public record over here.
yeah,
Oh yeah, it's not allowed over here.
it's
That
basically
is
a public
dangerous.
reputation. You do that stuff, everybody has to know about it, because you can't just go around to school with that kind of reputation and be scot free, So anyway,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
on
the
we're on my app.
Employers know about it too, but it's like people, like normal people,
Right.
aren't allowed to know.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah,
So
no,
lazy
everybody
bums.
gets to know about it. So on this app, we found a couple of people, not in my particular neighborhood,
Peeps.
but in my area, and then we found the dude that the kid was talking about, and it did say that he was registered, and so we looked at each other, we're like, oh god, and it was kind of funny.
Streets of peeps.
It was funny in a creepy way because the dude looked like a stereotypical person that would be registered. He was
My
Stereotypical
gosh, you
kind
are
of person.
dancing around this PG rating.
so like he was like he's like fat and he has like this weird beard and he's
Did
bald.
he have a comb over?
No, but I'm sure if he did have hair, he would have a comb over.
If he did have, oh my gosh,
Yeah, he was bald, had a full set beard, and he was fat, and he kind of spoke in a high toned voice because I've seen him before, I've heard him talk before. So that was that neighborhood, huh? One of the 11 times I moved around.
I want to make
Okay.
a joke, but it's like inappropriate. Oh,
yeah,
it's so
no.
horrible.
See,
Don't do it.
I have never had good luck with neighbors. Like, never. There's been some issue where my family has moved to a house and the neighbors have been problematic. Every
Oh.
single time I've lived in a house.
Ouch.
Really?
Yeah, the latest one, last house we lived in down the street, were some folks that knew us when we didn't want them to know us, and they had recently moved there, like very shortly after we did, because they had been kicked out of their other house and charged with animal abuse.
Well then.
Wow.
And I'm
what
not
a bunch
talking
of
about
jerks.
I'm not talking about like having a dog or cat and then like kicking it or something. I'm talking about the floors, some of the walls, like caked
Covered
in
in
feces. In feces everywhere. Human, animal,
How do people live like that?
tons
I-
of cats in there, just absolutely out the wazoo.
Ugh.
Like, no one was really sure how they were going to go about cleaning it.
Yeah,
So
how are they still alive?
I have no clue. They had to move them out. They moved to this new house. And I don't know if you guys have ever encountered anybody who's done meth before, but there are some very
I can
very
assume
standard.
what that's like.
There are very standard symptoms when it comes to meth users, and one of the individuals here met those symptoms almost to a T. There was nothing that definitively ever said, definitely she's a meth user. But we were always suspicious. She was always creepy. There were children that I had never even seen in that neighborhood going in and out of that house for no reason.
It was like twitchy, itchy.
Yep.
Yep.
Skinny as all get out,
Skinny.
teeth rotted out.
Yep.
Clothes hadn't looked like
Breaking Bad has taught me. Wow.
I'll pretend you didn't say that. But it was bad. So that was our latest experience with bad neighbors.
Wow.
But we've had a lot of bad neighbors.
That's
Animal abusers, people that have
interesting.
tried to poison our dogs, look over our fence, enter our backyard.
Dang. No, typically I've had pretty good neighbors.
same.
Well, actually. Oh no. No, there's this this one guy. I think this was like 2 years ago. Like, cause was it? We've been staying, like me and my family have stayed in this place that I'm currently living in right now for like a good while, for like a good couple of years. So for two years ago, right, we had no problems where we were staying now up until then. About 2 years ago, this dude wrongfully accuses my dad of threatening him.
I think I remember this.
okay then.
Yeah, and of course, the police over here are so biased. Like they're really bad. So they took in my dad. they brought him to jail just because of those claims, and he was stuck there for 2 days. They let him out after like a second day, but
Blimey.
we couldn't really do anything about it and the thing was about this guy, he didn't just randomly like go up against my dad or anything, but he had been kind of slashing our tires for some reason.
What?
Yeah. So,
Yep, I remember
I don't
this.
get it. Why do people go out of their way to do that? It's like, what did you do? Like,
yeah, so
did
out
you
of
do
nowhere,
anything?
this guy starts slashing our tires, and he's like banging on walls and making loud noise and kind of disrupting other neighbors and whatever. That sentence probably didn't make sense, but anyway, he's kind of being a jerk to not only me and my family,
Kinda.
but to other people, and we learned that somewhere along the line too. And so I guess my dad said something to him like, hey, leave us alone, like quit messing with us. And the dude took that as a threat, took it to the police took my dad, and we're like, oh great. And I think we learned that the reason why the dude was so hostile was because where we're living in, it's like it's very close to where he is, like so we have this really loud fan in one of our bathrooms, right?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
And so whenever we turn on that fan, it was really loud, and every time it was left on for a good while, we heard like bumps on our walls coming from where the dude was residing. And so I guess that's why.
Well, he could have just been like, hey man, your fan's a bit loud.
No, exactly.
Like,
He didn't want to be civil about it. It was like, all right, these people aren't going to stop being annoying. I'm just going to go slash their tires and do stuff.
So
make a massive deal out of it. Well, don't.
The sad part about this is that, as far as the police are concerned, they're just hearing that this dude's like randomly threatening another dude without much backstory to it. They don't know that the dude's been slashing our tires. To be honest, we probably don't even know that he's the one slashing our tires because we had no way to prove it. But he's the only one in our neighborhood that had been hostile.
Makes sense, yeah.
So we just kind of assumed, but...
Were you guys the only ones whose tires were getting slashed?
I think so. But anyway, the dude's a jerk. We almost moved out, but I think think the landlord ended up getting rid of him from the neighborhood because I haven't heard from him since.
Good riddance.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't dealt with neighbours that bad, but some of the neighbours I've had, we've had disputes with. Mostly because of, like, just small things. I think one time there was, like, a big deal, but they weren't technically our neighbours, they were, like, down the street from us. Basically, this lady almost ran over my little brother and just kept driving.
Mother of pearl.
Wow.
Like, he was literally, like, on his bike, like, just, like, passing across the road, and my brother was not looking. I'm not gonna lie, that is his fault. But the lady was going down there at, like, double the speed you're supposed to go down that road, because it's, like, an estate. So you're not supposed to drive very quickly down estate roads, mainly because of that reason of children and people walking around. So, in a way, if she was slower, it actually would have hit him head on. But because she was so quick, when she passed, she, like, clipped him with the end of her car. And he went, like, flying off the bike. And we were, like... and when me and my mum were, we were actually in our house, like, watching him. Because he was on, like, a green, like, outside our house. And there was, like, a window we could see out of. And my mum was talking to me. And all of a sudden, my mum just throws me out the way. And I'm like, what's happening? And my mum was just, like, going, oh my gosh! And she just quickly ran out. And I was like, what's going on? And it, like, I ran out behind her, and he was okay. He was just, like, he was scared, obviously. Like, he almost got hit by a car. But the lady kept driving. She didn't stop.
Ugh.
She literally kept driving. She knew she hit him and kept driving.
You know, a similar thing happened to me recently where I was crossing the side... I was crossing the street, and this dude... Crossing the sidewalk, yeah. No, I was crossing the street, and this dude freaking drives right in front of my nose. It wasn't even his turn. He saw me crossing the street. He saw me crossing the street, and he was like, nah, I think it's my turn. So he goes and drives, and he nearly hits me. And I see through his window, he, like, waves at me or, like, sticks his hand out at me, like, trying to say, like, stop moving or something. I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of the street. I'm not gonna stop moving. I was already walking.
Stop moving.
Now, were you in the middle of the street or in the middle of a crosswalk?
Middle of the crosswalk.
Okay, you're not a jaywalking scumbag.
No, dude, because this was at an intersection by my place. It's like the worst intersection in the world. People don't know when it's their freaking turn. Anyway.
Big roads like that are scary to me, because I'm just scared that a car's just going to respawn right there. Like, it's just going to appear. Yeah, that's how I describe it. It's like, I look both ways, and it's clear, and I walk across, and it's all I just, like, imagine is a freaking car come out of nowhere. I'm like, where did that come from?
Alright, like, kids, that's your lesson.
Yeah,
look both
be
ways
careful
before you
for
cross the street.
respawning cars.
Yeah, like, really.
That does remind me. I was in a city once visiting a good old friend of mine. And she wanted to take me back to, like, her apartment room or whatnot to introduce me to her roommates. It's like, okay, sure. So we're walking across the street, and there's a sign that says, don't jaywalk. You could be fined up to $75. I turn to her, I'm going, we are criminals. You have dragged me into a life of crime about, like, 5 minutes within me visiting you. Yep. So... the warrant's probably still out there. 75 smackaroos for jaywalking.
So
smackaroos.
Guy with mask.
But she was actually a former neighbor of mine, but not the kind of neighbor that was, like, right next to me. It was, like, down the road.
Yeah, like a...
But, like, I could walk to her house.
part of the street, yeah.
Like, that, she is one of the few good neighbors I've had. And right now, the current house we moved to now, we have decent neighbors. You know, they're not bad. They're not troublemaking. At least not right yet. So, we're all good.
Yeah.
But, nah, neighbors, that's one of the things I don't like about moving. The other thing is the boxes. I hate the boxes.
Man, I love boxes.
I always lose stuff when I'm moving.
I can't stand boxes.
I lost my... Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I just, like, when I moved from my last house, from my old house to, like, the house I moved it in before I moved here, I was playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, and I freaking got really far, then I lost it during the move, and I haven't forgiven myself for it.
Wow.
It's so painful.
I haven't really lost things a lot during moves. Like, recently, the thing I've lost is, like, an Xbox headset. I have lost that.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was this move. I need to go look for it. I don't know where it is. It's in a box.
Yeah, no,
really
I've
don't like
lost
boxes.
so much crap from moving. Like, it's
same.
depressing to think about sometimes. I lost a whole toy box when I was younger from moving. Lost a lot of stuff. I lost a good couple of Beyblades. You know, I've been having a nostalgia trip, so I actually know what I'm missing, because I went through a lot of my old stuff recently, like my old Beyblades, some of my Bionicle stuff, Transformers. You know,
Rip Beyblades.
I still.
Oh yeah, that's what you do. You rip it.
Yeah, I still have a lot of
that's what I
that
was getting
stuff.
at.
I still have a lot of that stuff because I'm very sentimental. And I noticed,
Same.
I couldn't help but notice that, but how much I was missing. Like, there was so much that I lost. And I know I lost it over the course of moving, because how else am I going to lose so much stuff?
That's me every time I look at my old Bionicle box with all my, like, Gen 1 set pieces in. I'm like, where did everything go? Where's it gone?
I have never lost parts, at least as far as I can
You're
recall.
very lucky.
I know.
I'm sure I've lost parts. I lost a
there was,
lot of,
one
like,
part.
favorite toys along the way, too.
Dang.
I lost the third eye of Kalmar, and I was very upset.
For a
It
second,
just looked like a giant pock mark in the middle of his head.
I thought you were going to say I lost my third eye.
Ah,
Like, wow,
eye.
Viper, jeez.
Man, deep. Too deep for me.
3 deep.
3 deep,
3
5
deep for
me.
me.
But, yeah. What's the other thing I don't like about moving? Oh, yeah. Time limits. Time constraints.
Yeah.
I struggle to remember a time where I moved and we weren't under some sort of a timetable.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? You have to rush
like-
to pack up all your stuff. That's how you
and
lose
then
stuff.
Move it. That is how you lose stuff. That's exactly it. This last move, we had like X amount of time until like August 7th to get out of the house.
Ridiculous.
We were pushed right up against that time limit. It was crazy. Absolutely horrible, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a big fan of moving. The only time I think I was really up for moving was just because of that whole situation I was just explaining. And that's also the only time that we're gonna move, just because of neighbor problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man,
Yeah, like, the reason I moved back into an urban area is because, like, it was costing a lot of money for petrol, so that was why we moved back. But even now, we still drive to town, so what's the point? It's like, oh yeah, we're here to save petrol. Let's just drive down the town, which is that walking's pace.
Petrol.
now the next time
Petrol.
Next time I ever move, and I know I will, I'm going to stay here forever and live with my parents. And next time I move, I want to get out of this area. Kind of sick of it here. It's so expensive, and the weather is awful. It's like England
Thanks.
when it comes to weather, at
I
least.
swear I've heard that before. Deja vu.
Yeah. Oh, we had this conversation about weather. Actually, no, we did,
Yeah.
and it was on another
With the exact
TTV
same people.
Talks. Yeah.
It was the exact
the
same
same
people.
crew. Hey.
Deja vu.
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanna get out of here. I wanna go somewhere nice, decent weather, not too hot, but not freakishly cold or dumb and foggy or whatever. And I want it to be nice and quiet too. Not rural. I don't want to be out in the middle of
Not
nowhere.
rural.
When you find that paradise, let me know.
I have. Ha ha!
No, you still live in a rural
Yeah.
area.
But I
Rural.
like that. That's what I like about
Yeah, but I don't like rural.
I guess it's kind of that thing. It's like sometimes if you live in a city environment, you want to go to a more rural environment. But then other times it's the opposite.
The grass is always greener somewhere else.
On the
That
other
kind
side,
of
yeah.
mentality, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the one time I enjoyed moving was when I was moving out of California. And
Wow.
that was it was a lot of fun because I like adventure. I really liked the aspect of adventure, of leaving, and all my friends were there to help move, and we could just pal around and have fun and talk and chat. And it was super sad in the last day because I left. I hate moving.
Haha.
I hate leaving people behind too.
Oh yeah.
That's horrible. Like, unfortunately enough, I've kept in the same kind of like society group. So
I used to
society group.
I used to care
like,
about
just the
that a
same,
lot
like,
when I was
people.
younger, but now I don't really care as much.
Yeah, but
Like I'm ready to
my,
leave you people. Screw all of you.
Ouch.
Well, not you, not
Thanks.
you two. But I'm
All right,
speaking
good.
hypothetically to
All
the
right,
the
cool.
people in this area. Like man, forget the people around here. I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to do too. Like, I was looking at like universities to go to the other day, and I was thinking of ones like up north, like on the borderline of Scotland, and everyone was just like, "That's too far away." I'm like, "Well, that's the point. Your bird's got to leave the nest."
Yeah.
How's about you move to another country, like the United States?
No,
She'll have plenty of time in her life to
I
do
love
that.
my free healthcare too much.
Oh, well, we love our freedom.
Oh,
Yeah,
good for you.
ouch! Burn! Freedom!
Look,
Burn!
look.
Wait, do you hear that? It's the bald eagles flying overhead doing a flyby.
She has her entire life to decide on when she plans to come here. I know she will come here in due time.
Yep.
But
One
speaking
day.
of time, we're running out of time here.
Oh,
Wow, that was incredible. But yeah, no, we are running a little bit long.
yeah.
So, final thoughts, moving sucks. But once we
Unless
Unless
it's
you
not
have
exactly
bad
the most
times
fun
in
activity.
the old house.
well, I think this has been good. We've let out some of our moving frustrations.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, it's,
More so,
it's-
more people. I messed up that sentence so badly.
You did, thank
more
you.
so than others.
More people
Absolutely.
than others.
More people than others.
More creatures than others.
Mo money, mo problems.
Rural.
Okay, that's enough. Well, thank you all very much for listening. This has been TTV Talks with LJ Venom and Viper about moving. If you want to go ahead and discuss this, either go down in the comments below or on the TTV Message Boards at board.ttvpodcast.com, where we'll hopefully have a topic up. And if not, go ahead and start it. Don't make a duplicate topic, though. That's dumb. What? Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's see. Vessel to get this a week early. Audible to get cool books. And no, that's about it.
I
Yeah.
can see so many people finger
YouTube,
wagging
if you're a
you
chump,
when they
no.
re-listen to this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you need more enthusiasm, LJ.
Oh yeah, Vessel! That's where you're gonna get your content a week early! Audible is where you get your books, not written!
Stop calling this house.
Okay, that's it, we're done. I'm LJ,
I'm Venom.
I'm Viper.
and this has been TTV Talks. We will see you all next time.